What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Black Blade Uchiha bringing you another video on this game Black Tech, and I want to go over a couple things with you guys. The new card that we're getting fragments for in the current Easter events, and I want to go over the top 10 decks in Arena now. So let's do that part first. I was just looking at it, as you can tell, and it's a little shocking in some areas. So the number one deck right now is Goblins. Am I surprised? No. What I think is helping take a lot of decks over the top is Blizzard Wizard. I could not get my hands on it. It was a card that you could get towards, like, if you got first place, I believe, in one of the tournaments that was going on when he was released for Christmas. What he does, I think the ability is this one. So it freezes 6 enemies for 2 turns when it enters the battle. Right? So just think about this. Turn 1, when all the cards are first place on the board, it hits the board, your whole deck is frozen. Unless you have frost resistance or you have a card that has the ability to freeze, so it has an innate or built-in frost resistance already. So you don't have to worry about that card being frozen. But still, that allows your opponent to come in with a card like a Goblin Exterminator and go boom, 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 and knock out all your cards as quickly as possible, right? And everything else is typical except for the slime. Slime is just there in order to add a little extra stall, if you will, so that way it will summon out a couple slimes, and then you have to deal with those slimes on top of everything else. All right. Second place, we do have the Wasteland deck, and again, Blizzard Wizard is in there. That's a common thing so far. Dragons kind of stays there. This caught me off guard, but I understand why. I have a Lord of Flies deck that made it. I said it would come back eventually. I said it would come back. This is the primary reason why Blizzard Wizard's been doing work. Then you have Krampus, which kind of works well. Debuffs all enemies with stealth, focus, piercing, or evasion, and has all elements. Buffs itself. So it can hit 2 at random. I think that's the built-in, or is that? I want to say that's built in to this one. I'll double check in a little bit. If it's not, then it'll include this extra strike set. But if it is, it hits 3 cards. But I'll double check that momentarily. You're in the swamp faction, right? And then the slimes provide continuous bombs, right, and poison. So along with you have 2 copies of Curse Puppet, so that's doing work as well. All right, I have another Wasteland deck, and you got the Blizzard Wizard in there. I just looked at that one. Stop it. Another Wasteland deck with Blizzard Wizard, Dragons. I just looked at that one. And then this one does not have Blizzard Wizard, but it has Jester, which is always an issue. It has taunting, right? So you have to attack it unless you have like Serene or something like that. Then that's a whole nother thing. Along with slimes, which present more of an issue. So you have to deal with those in order to get to the main attackers, as well as King of Callum, which will weaken all your cards at the same time as boosting itself up, right, when they transform. So that's the top 10 decks. What's the 11th deck? That's weird. You have a Patrick Dovelight deck that made it to the top 11. That's weird. This is not weird. I would expect that. This is really, really good. I played against that build. Another similar situation. Yep. Yeah. And those are all the decks that you would expect for the most part. Now let's look at the Forest faction and look at the new Forest Guardian. Right, it has 3 abilities. We're gonna go from left to right, and we're just gonna go to maxed out. So we look at how it is maxed. Right, so it prevents confused allies from dealing damage to your cards. Instead, they damage a random enemy for 100% of their strength at the end of the turn. I don't think confusion is a big issue based on the top decks, but it can be an issue if the decks are built correctly, which I haven't seen one built quite right yet, where it can be broken. Next ability is Nature's Blessing. Buffs the healthiest ally by 30% of this card's initial strength every turn up to 5 times. If the ally is a forest card, the buff magnitude is double. So it's going to be 60% of the healthiest one. So I guess the one that took the least damage. And if it's a forest ally, it's going to get 60% buff. So that's actually pretty good. And then last but not least is Circle of Life. Heals the most damaged ally by 40% of this card's initial strength every turn up to 5 times. If that ally is a forest card, the healing magnitude is doubled. So it heals for 80%. That is huge. Up to 5 times if it's in a forest based deck and it's a forest ally. That's insane. So say your Fungnor took some damage and it was the most damaged, right? He's going to heal it for 80% of the damage. That's quite a bit. That's huge. That's a huge heal. Huge heal. Wow. Let me look at Krampus real quick. Just want to double check. Okay, yeah, so it would attack 3 times. Cool. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to end this video right here. I think that card is actually pretty solid. Let me know what you think of the new cards and the current arena meta. Hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and the notification bell so you know when the content drops. I'll look back at your boy. Peace.